Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
Oh, shit. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. I am your host, Jason Hardin, and I am extremely grateful to be here today. Why? Because we have a surprise episode, a surprise interview. You know, we don't waste no time or opportunities. When somebody's ready, man, we get them on, because bosses have schedules they create for themselves for a reason, you know, and if they got a moment to spit some game on here, I want to hear it, I want to get it, I want to capture it and give it to y'all. So I want to say welcome, and I want y'all to welcome to the show for the very first time. Not my first time working with her, but the first time on this show, so we're very honored to have Miss Talyn Nelson on air in the studio with us today. Hello, Taylor.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh my God. I'm glad it's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure.
I'm glad it's a pleasure.
It's
and
always
why?
a pleasure. Just kicking it with you. I'll be getting game.
Thank you. Because the feeling's neutral.
Yeah.
And I want to say that because, like, Talyn is not only, well, for those that do know, the face of Maiden Dina, the Dina magazine, everything I've created, I'm not going to lie, she has jumped on without hesitation, without BS, and it's hard to work with anybody else because it's so easy to work with her. And so I don't. You know, that's a gift and a curse. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So, but aside from that, she has a degree, a brand. She has a book coming out. I mean, it's so incredible what she does, and we're going to get into all of it. And, yeah, Taylor, hello.
Hi.
Miss Nelson.
Are you? What's up?
I'm fine, thank you. Where should we start? You just moved back to Cali.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're in the heart of L.A.
Yeah.
And you deal with stocks. You deal with, like, you're into so much.
Yeah,
like I said, you had your podcast. I don't know, like, what are you doing now, and what do you want to talk about? Because I want to get in your zone right now, because wherever you're hot in, that's where the game's going to come from. So.
Okay. I had to move out of California. I had to separate. I had to separate in order to elevate. And, like, there's so much power in separation and learning, like, yourself. Like, you know, so it's just, like, that solitude within. Like, I learned a lot within myself as a woman. So it's just, like, that woman gives me chills now. So I started writing a book, and my book is coming out October 21st. It's called Hey God, What's Up? It's literally
October is in this month?
October this month.
Oh, wow.
Like, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, yeah. It's called.
Now I know why you're in the studio. She's
Honestly,
promoting her book, y'all.
Period.
Anyway, I love it. Okay, what's it called? What's it about?
I haven't told anybody really I was writing a book. Nobody
exclusive.
really knew
I didn't.
I was writing a book. I just wanted it to come out, like, you know. But it's called Hey God, What's Up? And it's a book of prayers. So it's literally an authentic conversation with God. So it's honestly my journal. So, like, however I was feeling, my journal was my safe space. Like, you know, so it's like I would go and just write, God, I'm angry, but I trust you. Like, I don't see it, but you said it. Like, you know, so there's different prayers on every way I felt. Like, you know, but it's just like it can help so many other people. Because I never even realized that I do have a gift of prayers. Like, and I pray for everybody. I just thought, like, it just comes natural to me. But, like, so many people who have read a little part of my book, like my family and stuff, they're all like, I'm ready for the book. I need the book. I need it. This is exactly how I feel. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes and everything. So hopefully it just inspires people to want to be better, you know? So that's really what I've been focusing on, for real. But
well, I'm excited for you because one thing I know about you is that you are truly inspiring.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, she did have a podcast called Have a Blessed Day with Tay. So faith is always something that's been strong within her. And just that intro, that beginning, it gives us so many avenues that we can touch on that are so valuable to anybody that wants to make it.
Right.
And I don't mean just make it in any business, just make it in life.
Right.
You know, it's hard just to make it
It's hard.
to today and to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's sad because a lot of people fall victims of thinking they can't make it.
And it sucks because social media has a big way of doing that, like, you know, especially with the young people, like the younger generation. It's just like, if you don't have a BBL, if you don't have 100,000 plus followers, if you don't have over 6 figures in your bank account at the
first
age
of all,
of 24,
what's that BBL? What is that?
A BBL, like when people have the fake bodies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
the fake
I'm not hip
booties.
to it. Yeah, okay.
The fake
BBL.
booty. Yeah, like they take some out of your stomach and put it in your butt.
Okay. Keep going. Yeah. I
So
get it.
a lot of women are doing that, like, nowadays, and it's just, it sucks because there's so much beauty in your natural state, like, you know, and people don't even see their value because they're looking at what other people are, which sucks. Like, you know, it's like, and comparison is like close to the enemy. It's just literally like the same thing as the enemy. So it's just like, we can't compare, and we just really got to be grateful for who God is calling us to be in the path that we're on. Like, you know, it's okay if you don't look like everybody else. It's okay if you do work a 9 to 5. Like, you know, like, we're all spiritual beings, like, trapped in like our human form. You know? So it's just like, we all feel different every single day. Everybody feels different about something, like, you know. So if I could be a light in a dark place, and if I can help somebody with what I went through, because I went through all of it too, like, you know, but if I can help somebody, help the next person, I'm all for it. So
I think you touched on what the core of this show is all about. You know, it's about helping people create and live their own definition of success.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is, like, you're reiterating the value of individualism and uniqueness and originality. And I think a lot of us, you said today is like social media, but ultimately it has always been media. Because even before social media, people would chase what people look like on TV. The hottest thing in the magazine, the hottest thing in the music video. So that's nothing new. Social media is more potent because it reaches every single person individually through the phone and through the accounts. And it's like, we have programming just for you.
Yeah.
We know what you want to be, and you might not even know who you want to be, but somebody suggesting who you might want to be might be powerful. So I think that it's so much value in teaching people to be who they are.
Exactly. But sometimes you have to separate from the world to know who you are and to know what you like and what you don't like. Like, you know, like, I like lighting my candles, like, you know, coming home to a beautiful, clean house. Like, you know, like, I like feeling peace. And it's just like, if anything disrupts my peace, it's too expensive. And I had to learn that from getting away, you know? So, like, learning my individuality, I had to personally separate. But, like, some people find who they are with people, but then comparison is of the enemy. Like, you know, so it's just like, a lot of people think they want to be like somebody else just because this person is successful in the public's eye. But what is success to you? Like, you know, success to me is reaching your full purpose without unapologetically. Like, you know, like, reaching your full purpose, because if you really walk in your full purpose, you're gonna get the money, you're gonna get the fame, you're gonna get everything that you really need, because that's God's gift to the world. Like, you know.
Yeah, I hear that's the byproduct being who you're really supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like money, attention, whatever it is you want out of life, the physical, the material, that's a byproduct of really being who you are. How important is it to, like, be alone? Like seriously, because I think that a lot of us, we can be from a city that has so much opportunities. And like, let's say Pasadena, for example.
Right.
You know, beautiful place.
The city of roses.
Man, it has like the #2 junior college in the nation. You know, always been a top tier school. So many opportunities here. We have JPL, NASA, but we have folks here that
haven't got out of Pasadena.
Man, and from not being out of Pasadena, they don't see the value of what's here.
Right.
So, meaning you can be from a place where everything is at, but you still need to go somewhere to see the value. How important is that?
I feel like it's extremely important because it's just like it opens up your horizon to different sceneries and everything. Like that's why I'm so big on traveling. Yeah. I feel like everybody should travel somewhere. Like, you know, because it's just like when you see how other people live, it makes you grateful.
I believe that.
100%. Like, you know, it's just like everybody doesn't have the same thing that we have growing up. Like, you know, but it's just like, again, sometimes like getting away is so important because there's people in your ear that like family or friends, like, you know, that are stuck in their ways. And it's just like, you may seem like, oh, like they don't think like me or anything. So maybe somebody else does across the country. You never know who you might meet. Like one of my best friends is in Dallas. I got up and I left to Dallas, remember, like years ago. You know, like my best friend is in Dallas. Like, you know, I talk to her every single day, but it's just like, that was like a party stage of my life. Like, I was in college, but then
you had
like,
to experience that.
I had to experience it. Like, you know, and I still have my sister, but like I don't think I would have made it without my sister out there. But like in Arizona, I had to just up and leave because it's just
didn't
like,
have your sister.
I didn't have nobody. I was literally by myself.
Wow.
For 2 years.
To think.
Yeah, to think. And like, I had to go just get a job and do like.
You had to make it.
I had to. I'm a survivor at the end of the day. Like, you know, so it's just like at the end of the day, I'm always going to.
What role did fear play in leaving and doing your own thing? And
fear can either mean two things. You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. So it's just like I choose to rise every time. Like I'm not gonna run from problems. I'm a solution-based person. So like I'm gonna figure it out. I have to figure it out. Like, you know, like there's no choice. And it's just like I'm not the type of person to ever really ask for handouts. For real. It's a pride. I'm trying to help myself.
I get it.
But I don't like asking for handouts. So it's just like I gotta do it, and I can do it. Like, you know, and I know what I want. I know what I want, and I'm setting this standard. So I gotta do it, and I'm gonna do it. Like, you know, and fear doesn't scare me. It actually excites me because like I'm not afraid of nothing because I got God with me.
Question. There's a lot of young people in the neighborhood or anywhere they might be, and they might not have the resources to leave. What do you tell those? What would you suggest to people that say, I need money to leave, or I don't have anything to go somewhere. I don't know what to do. They're lost. They need that change. They need that move, but they might feel so rooted or so stuck into a family, a neighborhood, a relationship that they can't leave, or that they feel they can't leave. What do you tell that person? Like, how do you make it possible for someone who thinks it's impossible?
Okay, can't is not in our vocabulary. Ever. I don't say can't. Like, we don't do that because that's already limiting yourself. Yeah. Like, you know, and it's just like when you limit yourself, you already don't think that you're able to do it. You're already doubting yourself. And when you doubt yourself, like you're further away than you really could go. So it's just like, if you really want to go somewhere, if you really want to do something, like you got to see it before you can really see it, you know? So it's just like, close your eyes, get in your room, close your door, get in a quiet space and envision yourself on a different island, and then start looking up that island, and then start making goals. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, I'm working a 9 to 5, I make $400 a week or something like that. Like I'm gonna take like $20. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna take, okay, this check, I'm gonna take maybe 25, like, you know, and don't touch it. That's like envelope money. Like, don't touch it. Don't let nobody know you get doing it. And then one day, just really just like, I'm gonna go to this place. I see myself in this place, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there by 2025. The year 2025, I will be in this spot. And like, just envision yourself, and it's just like there's power in the tongue. So it's just like affirmations are really powerful as well. I spoke my whole apartment into existence. Didn't have it at all. Didn't have the resources, the money, or anything. But I've been saying for about 4 months, 5 months, like, I will have my 1 bedroom, 1 bath with a washer and dryer, a beautiful view, no carpet, great parking, a great commute, all new amenities.
You were detailed.
Nice big closet space, everything in detail. Like, you know, I got everything. I said, and I will get it by September 23rd.
Wow. And a date.
The date.
You know, I tell people, like, the more in detail you can explain something,
the more you start believing it,
and the easier it is to make it happen.
Yeah.
If you don't know, like, how are you going to even make that happen? How much money you want to make next year? I want to make $1 million. Okay.
How you going to do it?
Exactly.
Like, you know, so now you got to just get to, like, it's just little steps. Baby steps. Like, you know, it's like, say, like, I want to lose 50 pounds. Like, you know, 50 pounds is a lot to lose, but it's just like, if I lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks, that's an accomplishment. Like, you know, and it's just like you can do that, and you can do anything that you really put your mind to. So if you say that you don't have the resources, you don't have the resources yet. You don't have the resources yet, but it's just like, start listening to motivational speaking. Start reading books. Like, you know, start reading books.
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off, but I was about to ask you, because I want these to be points that people can really, like, identify. And I was going to ask you, like, what can you tell somebody to get from that visualization mindset to an action mindset? And I think you hit it on the head right there with, you have to read. You have to start listening and filling your brain and your ears and your eyes with constructive, like, stuff.
Yeah, you got to start surrounding yourself with what you want to be like. Like, you know, like, if you want to be negative, start listening to the world. But if you want to be someone that stands out and makes an impact in the world, like, start reading. They could take your money, they could take your house, they could take your clothes, they could even take your freedom, but they can never take your knowledge. Nobody can take your knowledge or wisdom. Okay, so it's just like, you got to keep reading and instilling great things inside of you. Listen to motivational speaking, whether if it's 5 minutes a day, or just to know, like, there's power behind your words, like, you know, and it's just like, and then when you start listening to something over and over, you're gonna start believing it a little by little. Like, you know, start speaking affirmations every single day. Start speaking affirmations. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am clean. I am kind. I am productive. Like, you know, I make making money fun. I do the right thing when no one is looking. I have integrity. I have character. I have the breath of God in me. I have God-given skills. Start speaking life into yourself, and then life is going to come to you. It's law of attraction.
You know what? I want to touch on something, and I think it might be touchy to some folks, but I want to say how important it is your faith and your belief.
Absolutely.
And your belief in God.
I wouldn't be nowhere without him.
Exactly. But I want to emphasize that to all our listeners who aren't believers, who aren't religious, I think that, like, you still resonate. You know, you everything you spit, everything you talk about, and it still translates. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, how do you, like, reach those? How do you even plan to reach those who don't believe? You know, or who aren't?
I'm going to reach everybody.
Because you reach a lot of people.
I am. I'm going to reach everybody, whether if you believe or not. Like, I am a God-fearing woman unapologetically. I would be nowhere without God. Nowhere. Like, you know, but because I know what he's done for me. I know the darkness that I was in, and how he brought me out of it, and how he's been working miracles when I didn't even know. Like, you know, when prayers are being answered from people that already passed away, and they're still being answered. Like, you know, so it's just like, I know that he's working in my darkest, in my lowest hour, like, you know, or in my highest hour. So if you don't believe, if I pray that you do find faith, not a religion, but I do pray that you find a relationship. And it's a difference, like, because like God is all knowing and he's all powerful, and he knows you before you even know yourself. Like, so it's just like, and he loves you, and he still chose you, whether, no matter what your situation may have looked like he still chose you, and he only calls the strongest. And it's just like, you don't have to be, he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So it's just like, he's qualifying you and he's equipping you to the person that you are supposed to be, and you are a light. And you deserve to shine. Like, you know, your story does deserve to be heard, but he has the final say. So it's just like, I do pray that, like, you find peace in his purpose. I do pray that you find abundance in your love. And it's just like, God is with you every step of the way. And it's just like, don't give up on him, because he's never going to give up on you. Ever.
You know what? I love that. I really do. But, on this episode and on this show, we like to get down to the nitty gritty, you know, and I like to make things applicable. And everything you talk about, even when it's faith-based, even when it's about God, even when it's about religion and belief, it's like, it's so applicable. And to me, and you're so successful. Seriously, and all you do is...
I'm a work in progress, so thank you.
We all are. We all are. But seriously, in the way you move, in the way you think, you are a success.
Thank you.
And everything that I've seen you do and engage yourself with, like, you are a success.
Thank you.
The way you grow, the way you learn, it's like, that's how bosses move. You have the boss mentality. Seriously, and I'm not just trying to, you know, blow smoke up your ass or whatever because you're here and you know, I don't do that. You know, I'll call you out if you're right here. You know, I talk shit.
I know.
You know, but
I know.
What I wanted to get into and like kind of try to make this applicable to those who don't believe is that I personally want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, like relate your belief in God to one's belief in their self. And I say that for two reasons. One, I think when you believe in yourself, the way that you should believe in God, you can create certain things. And then on the other, even if you're religious, God is in all of us.
Yeah.
You know, so, and he is us and we is him, you know, so I think that we have to believe in ourselves because he's in.
You have to. And there's power in the tongue. So
absolutely.
Like, when you speak, you can either speak life or death for anybody. So you can speak life or death. So if you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're already limiting yourself and you're speaking death upon yourself. But if you say, like, I could do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna achieve this, you're already speaking life into yourself. And there's power in that. So it's just like, you can either create or you can destroy.
I believe that.
You can. And so it's just like, if you believe in yourself all the way, and just know that I am bigger than my biggest problems. I am stronger than I thought I was. I am better than my past mistakes. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am beautiful. I am talented. I am somebody deserving of love.
Question. What is the most valuable trait that you have? What is the trait that I guess gets things done, makes shit happens out of nowhere? Like you said, you spoke things to existence. What is the trait that you physically practice that makes that happen? You know, and it doesn't have to be symbolic. It could be physical. Like
the best trait.
What do you do? Like seriously, to make shit happen? Because, like I said, we're all about applying shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We want to give tactical advice sometimes, you know, and I think like you have things that you just know how to do. Like I said, you're full of game. What is your go-to? Like me, I'm just to give you an example. Mine is like graphic arts.
Okay.
Whenever like I need money or I need to do like make a move or something, I'll do something with my art that creates an idea, a business, a product to maybe create a situation, get me out of a situation, maybe campaign. You know, it might just be a logo to mean something to do. It might not even be a product. It might just be a movement. Like, that's my go-to, my art. Like, what is your go-to to make shit happen?
Prayer.
Wow.
100%. Like, I pray for everything, anything. Like, before I do anything, I pray. Like, I do. And, like, I feel like God gives me the strength to do whatever I have to do to make it make sense. So it's just like He did put a voice inside of me, and I could speak. I could speak to any and everybody. I could connect to people, but it's just like I always pray, like, God, put your words to my tongue and speak. Like, you know, like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't want to lead anybody astray, but I want to make people feel safe, no matter what your belief is, no matter what your background is, no matter what you look like, you know, no matter where you're going or no matter what you're in, what current situation you're in. I want to speak life into people, and it's just like I can only do that when God speaks life into me.
Do you see prayer as your form of meditation?
Yes.
Do you meditate also, or?
I just pray. I pray.
I love it. I
read. I pray.
Yeah.
I light my candles.
Yeah.
I be chilling. Yeah.
How important is alone time to being successful? Because I only say that because I think a lot of people might think I'm an asshole.
Okay.
Because how I appreciate my alone time. Like, I really don't need a lot of people around me. Even when I'm with or around a lot of people, I don't need engagement.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm always thinking to myself, I'm always talking, I'm always in my own head. So to me, it's very important. How important is it to you, alone time?
Very important. Like, it regroups me because I'm like introvert, extrovert type of vibe. Like, you know, like, so, like, being around people is fulfilling, like, you know, it does fill my spirit, but like being alone like restores me, it feels like, and it feels like I could regroup, I could release, I could restore, and I could just like be in my own space. And it's just like I'm at a space where I really have peace. So it's just like I don't want anybody to disrupt that. Like, you know? So it's just like I'd rather be alone and in peace. And like really I can create, I can meditate, I can like laugh by myself. Like, you know, it's so important because it's just like you got to know who you are before you go out into the world and portray somebody that you're not. Like, you know, like, so like sitting still and being alone, like sit still in the brokenness, sit still in the pain, sit still in the fear. Like, you know, like whatever you're going through, it's okay to sit still in it instead of drinking it away, effing it away, like, you know, like smoking it away, like, you know, like just trying to have somebody else fill that void. You gotta sit still within yourself and just like know, like, what can I do better? What's missing? How can I make a difference? Like, you know, like, and you really just have to be alone to do that because everybody's opinion, Lauren London said, like, people's opinion could be like little weapons. Like, you know, and
little daggers.
It could honestly kind of kill you. Like, you know, but it's just like when you know who you are within, like, can't nobody tell you nothing. So it's just like you have to spend that time alone to know who you really are.
You know what? I think like it's self-awareness. Like I think like people with some like they use other folks as a reason, like they think somebody else is the reason I can be happy. Or and you know what? One thing, like being married and whatnot, like my wife, like I don't make her happy. And I don't say that.
To.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that in a good way because
she's supposed to be happy within herself.
Man, and happy before she had me, happy without me, happy when I'm not with her. But I think that a lot of us are misconstrued that that we're supposed to be what makes our spouse happy.
But that's not fair.
It's not.
Like, because it's just like you're putting a lot of pressure on people that is not supposed to be theirs. Like, you're supposed to make yourself happy. Like, you're supposed to be happy within yourself, and then they're just supposed to add value to that.
Man.
Like, so
supposed to enhance your happiness.
Exactly.
But I say all that to say this. I think a lot of people, well, some, I'm not going to say a lot. I don't know the number. But if you're miserable, don't think someone is going to make you happy. Don't think a relationship is going to fix that. And
absolutely, because it's just like in math, 2 halves make a whole, right? But in a relationship, if you're broken, like if you and your wife are
both
broken, like it doesn't
y'all two
make
broke
whole.
people.
It doesn't make you guys whole. Like, it's gonna be a chaotic mess.
Yeah.
Because it's just like she's gonna want you to fill her voids. You're gonna want her to fill your voids, but it's just like nobody could fill that void but you. Like, so you gotta sit still in it, and you have to know who you are within a person and love yourself for what you bring to the table. And if you don't like the person that you are right now, how can you change it? Not trying to be like anybody else, but it's just like, what can you do to take the right steps to change what you are? Like, start looking at yourself, and instead of saying everything you don't like, start saying the little things you do like. I like my smile. I like how I can make other people laugh. I like the way I dress. Like, like little stuff. I like how I can hold a conversation, or I like that I'm quiet. Like, I like that I'm quiet and I just can listen to music and zone out. Like, like instead of figuring everything you don't like, because that's what the enemy is going to try to do anyway. He's going to tell you everything you're not. He's going to tell you who you're not and your identity, and he's going to try to make you question your identity. But he's a liar. Like, and it's just like, you're more than enough, and you have everything you need to be successful in you. You just got to tap into that.
I think you just surmised like the whole gist of what this podcast is about. I mean, it's about personal development. Like, you just summed up personal development, because whatever you want out of life, whatever you're trying to create, it starts with you.
Yeah.
It starts with not just you, but like physically becoming better.
Right.
Personally developing, and I just want to emphasize that
you can't physically get better if you're not mentally better.
If you're not starting within.
With your mind. Yeah. You have to renew your mind.
What? I guess I don't know if you always had it. Did anything turn you on to personal development, or was it just something you always had? Like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be awesome. Like, because I can see that drive, but I can see also that maybe one day you didn't believe in yourself and all that, and then something happened, and you're like, oh, I can do this. So what was it? Like, was it overnight? Was it the family upbringing? What made you develop that boss mindset?
I always knew I wanted more. Seeing my dad, he's an entrepreneur, and he's like the hardest working man I've ever met. So it's just like just seeing him work, and then my mom is spiritual, like, and she's the one that put the beliefs inside of me. But like, right out of high school, nobody would ever know, but I was in a dark place. Like, I was in a dark place. Didn't know why. I don't know why I was in a dark place. I have a great upbringing. Like, I had great friends, cheerleader, blase, but it was just like something about me was just dead inside. It just didn't feel like me. Like, I always wanted to be better and do better, but like there was this one night, I prayed, and this is the first time I really cried out to God and prayed, like, and I was like, just take this away from me. And like, I woke up the next morning with peace, and like the sun was coming through the window, and I genuinely felt peace. I was just like, okay, cool, like, like, thanks.
Yeah.
But then I always just knew the life I wanted to live, and it's just like, if these people got the same 24 hours as me, like, so it's just like, what makes them different? Nothing.
How
Nothing
early
makes them
did you see
different.
that life you wanted to live?
Right out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like 18, 19.
I asked that, like, for me, when I was young, even like junior high and elementary, like I had a rough childhood, but I would fantasize about how I wanted to live, how I wanted to be, and I didn't always know like what job would get me there.
Yeah.
I just knew how I wanted to be respected, how I wanted to dress, how I wanted to act, how I wanted to do the things that I do, and I think just like what you were saying earlier, how detailed like you are about what you want, things just happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I was listening to, I think it was Les Brown, and he said something like, how is none of your business? When you decide what you want to do and you're serious about it, how you get it done, it's none of your business, damn near. Meaning, like, you're so set on something, like, don't worry about how.
Right.
Like, I want to.
Because it can come in a whole bunch of different
Man,
avenues.
you can't even figure it out.
You know?
Like, it's impossible to figure out a combination to a safe just
Right.
by looking at the safe. But you have to go through those steps. You got to turn them knobs. You got to
Right.
listen to the sounds of those
Absolutely.
tumblers dropping. Whatever it is you got to do, I think you have to go through the motion. And it starts with, where do you want to end up? And I think you have to visualize, like you say, you just have to visualize to the T. Where do you want to end up? What do you want for yourself?
Yeah.
And I just think that was so powerful for you, for me, and for
Yeah.
anybody that can do that. What advice do you have for those that didn't grow up with, you know, the mother and father, didn't grow up with the maybe the examples or even that perspective of success? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, it's easy telling somebody that already knows what to do, how to do it, you know, but it's hard. I really want to reach those that thought like me when I was younger, you know, who didn't see the hope, who didn't see the possibilities, and I want them to get there quicker than it took me to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because they just like with you, maybe if you can spit this game now, that little girl won't wait till she graduates high school to figure it out. She can, at 9, she be off on the tennis courts being great or whatever the fuck she wants to do. So what advice do you have for those that don't have that, I guess, that just unfortunate to already have whatever it is to make them click, that family, that love, that they might grow up in institutions. We have like, we're the capital of group homes in Pasadena, Altadena. So a lot of people just don't have family members, just don't have loved ones, just don't have that external energy. What do you do? What do you do if you don't have it?
You have to know that you are enough. No matter what, anything you come from, you have to know personally that you are enough. And then if you want more, you have to just go out and search for more. So me personally, I love watching videos on YouTube, motivational videos, like, you know, listening to podcasts and stuff like that. So it's just like, you can just see, like, if we all have the same 24 hours, and it's just like, everybody doesn't have a great upcoming, but that doesn't have to be your ending, like, you know. So it's just like, you have to know mentally that you are enough. That's step 1. You have to know that you are enough. And then step 2, whatever you love to do it to the full extent. Like, you know, do it to the full extent. Like, if you like to listen to music, figure out how they make the music and figure out how to do the beats. Like, you know, like, whatever draws you. Like, you know, don't try to be like what you're listening to, but be what your heart is telling you to do. Like, you know, and then motivational speaking, I really applaud it all the way. Like, you know, because it's just like, it really does help you, like, get out of that funk a little bit. Like Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, like, there's so many great people, like, who had humble beginnings, who are amazingly successful, like, you know, and then they're telling you the steps as well. So it's just like, motivational speaking books, like, you're literally reading, like, if you get a book, you can, like, they're literally telling you step by step by step by step.
It's a recipe.
It's
a recipe.
Like, you know, literally step by step by step. This is what I did to get successful. This is what I did. But it's just like, if you really want it, you gotta have to go out and find it, and you gotta know that you're more than enough, and start attracting more than enough. Like, you know, instead of reading like fairy tale books and stuff, like, read self-help books to really help you get into a better situation than you are right now.
I love that. She said fairy tale books, but the same thing goes for what you watch.
Listen
you know what
to,
I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Stop listening to
around?
that fairy tale music. Like you said, they're
Yeah.
not telling you how to get it. But if you listen to a TED Talk, that motherfucker might tell you how to get it.
Step by step by step by step.
Step by step. So basically, like, translating, correct me if I'm wrong, get more value at your time.
Yeah.
We all have 24 hours.
Exactly.
If you're fucking around for half that time and spend the other half sleep, then what
That's
do
your fault.
what do you plan to accomplish? What do you plan to have tomorrow?
Exactly.
I tell people if they hate Mondays, they're not doing enough on Saturday and Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting it on Saturday and Sunday if you got to go back to some bullshit that you hit on Monday.
Right.
You know, so always make your time count. I know that me, myself, I fall a victim to not making the most, but I try and I'm aware. I do feel like shit when I don't make the most, so that's a good thing. Like, if you don't feel like shit, if you're fucking off your time, you're in a bad place.
Like, I need to do more. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you know, like.
At least that guilt is good. You know,
Yeah.
some people just are cool with fucking off every moment of the day, and that's a sad place to be.
But if you're cool with fucking off every moment of the day, then you gotta be okay with having a regular lifestyle.
You gotta be cool with the result of that. I love that. We're gonna end right there, but not before you tell us when the book is coming out, where you're gonna put it out. Like, how do people get in contact with you? How do people know when it drops?
The book is coming out October 21st. It's called Hey God, What's Up? And it's gonna be on Amazon. I'm self-publishing it.
Oh,
I'm self-editing it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
doing everything by myself. It is gonna be on Amazon and the TikTok shop, and I'm gonna have something in hand. So my Instagram is 2FineTay, the number 2 Fine Tay, and you can get the link there. And the book is gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be big.
You heard it from her, and we're definitely going to have to cop a book and give it away to one of our listeners because, like I said, we're so proud of you, Talyn.
Thank you so much.
I am so glad that you are creating more. I'm not even going to say more of this, or that. I'm just glad you're creating because, like, you have value. And you're only giving that value away when you're creating or sharing what you do. So I thank you for doing the show. I thank you for writing your book. I thank you for everything you've done for the business and for myself. But I thank you most of all for being you.
Thank you.
Because you are going to change the world in whatever way you see fit. And I love it. I love it. Thank you for being on the show.
You.
I know you're a boss and you're busy, so we definitely are appreciative for everything you said tonight.
Thank you.
Any last words to our listeners?
Pray, slay, and have a blessed day.
You know it. That was Talyn Nelson, everybody. And, man, check her out. Check out the book. October 21st. We're going to release this episode in time for you to listen to it and be aware for October 21st, man. Check it out, man. 2FineTay on Instagram. We're out.
Thank you.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.